Hello, we are live. Good morning. If you can hear me, please go to the comment and say I can hear you. If you can hear me this morning, kindly go to the comment and say I can hear you. So every Monday I've decided to go live, all right, and teach on businesses. Teach about businesses, teach about brands, teach about positioning and a lot more. All right, so today I'll be talking about a very interesting topic, but please confirm that you can hear me. Go to the comments, you can hear me, just type 111. Right, just confirm that you can hear me. Interesting, I can see that we are live already. So today I'll be talking about a very interesting topic. It's called brand versus businesses. Why most struggling entrepreneurs confuse the two. All right, a brand versus businesses. Why most struggling entrepreneurs confuse the two. So I'll tell you why this topic matters. It matters because you can have a beautiful brand and still be broke. That's the truth about that. I've seen in a number of persons well designed branding. In fact, if you go to their page, you almost fall on it. Right. But then the problem is it is that beautiful, but then if you probe in, if you ask them, these persons are still broke. The question then is why. It's simple, right? Because people mistake brand for business. These things are two different things. There's brand and there's business, and that exactly is what I'll be talking about today. And the truth is this: most people focus on looking like a business, not running one. Remember, I said these things are two different things. There's first the brand, there's first the brand, and there's the other side, which is a business, right? But then another unfortunate thing is that most people focus on looking like a business, all right, but not running a business. So what they oh, I'm just doing this thing, right? But then people assume that, oh, I think you are paid for what you're doing. But unfortunately, it's not like that, right? So these same persons focus on looking like a business, but they are not running a business. So in today's life, you would learn a lot about what to do to fixing your brand or balancing your brand with a business. All right, let's go into it. Now, first of all, what exactly is a brand? Yeah, you might want to tell me in the comment what exactly do you think a brand is, right? But then let me tell you what I think a brand is. A brand is how people feel about you, right? When they see you or hear from you. A brand is what people feel about you when they see you or they hear from you. Or in fact, a brand is what people say about you when you are not there. Right? I believe you have heard that kind of definition. A brand is what people say about you when you're not there. A brand is what people feel about you when they see you or they hear from you. Right? A brand is also what people say about you when you're not there. It's also about perception, it's also about positioning, and it's also about presence. It's about perception, positioning, and presence. Perception is what people think about you. Positioning is being at a point where you can easily be seen, and presence is being on point, right? Being on point, being at a certain place and at a certain time. Now, then, what exactly is a business? Very simple. A business is a system that solves a problem for profit, right? A business is a system that solves a problem for profit. Now, let me go deeper into these things. The problem with quite a number of people is that they do not run a business, they just run a brand, right? Remember, like I said, a brand is what someone can be beautifully doing, but unfortunately there is no profit from it, right? You go to these people's profile and then you are stunned, right? And you're excited, you're like, man, this guy is doing great. Further proof from them, they are not making money. So you don't just want to have a brand, you also want to balance it with a business. So a brand is what people feel about you when you're not there, right? A brand is the perception people have about you. A brand is how you position, is your perception, is your positioning, and is your presence, right? A brand is your perception, is your positioning, and is your presence. While a business is a system that solves a problem for profit. So if you're not currently making profit, if you're currently not selling, or if there's no money coming into your business, because people hate the word sales, right? But let me put it like this: if there is no money coming into your business, then you don't have a business, right? So a business is a system that creates profit for you. A business is a system that solves a problem. So not just solves a problem, because I've seen people who solve problem but do not profit from it. In fact, a brand building a brand would help you solve problems, right? That's why it's beautiful, it's attractive, you've got a number of persons there, right? It is solving a problem. But then understand that a business is what solves a problem, and what solves a problem for profit, right? So if you're not profiting from your brand or from your business, that is not a business. So another one for a business is how you make money, a business is how you manage money, and a business is how you multiply it. Let me say that again. A business is how you make money, a business is how you manage money, and a business is also how you multiply money. Unfortunately, quite a number of businesses are not making money, talk less of managing it, and then multiply it, right? So what a business will help you do is that it will help you make money, right? It will also help you manage it, so you know, okay, I should have been spending on this, I should have been spending on that, right? Then managing, whether it's having an accountant, whatever it is, right? And then multiply it, because then of course you have made money right now, you need to expand it, it needs to increase. What exactly happens? Same business would help you multiply that money, because of course you are getting money from these points, right? So a business, remember, don't forget what I said, a business is a system that solves a problem for profit, and a business is also how you make money, manage money, and multiply it. Now, there's a common confusion among all these that I've talked about. Remember, the goal is to talk about, show you the difference between a brand and a business. Now, the truth is this: many people build a personal brand but forget to create an offer from it. Now, that's not who you want to become, and that's not where you should be. If you build a brand, ensure that you are creating an offer. Now, like I said, I know people hate the word sales. I understand that. I'm a salesman. People hate salespeople. But at the same time, if you would ever make money, the easiest way to make money, I used to say, is to sell. The fastest way to make money is to sell, right? But then why selling? Because the truth is, people love to buy. People have needs, right? And people spend every single day. But the problem is, you are not the one collecting the money. Why? Right? So you must learn how to collect the money, and the easiest way to collect the money is to sell something to them. The easiest way to collect money from people is that you sell something to them. So if you are not selling, there's no way to easily collect money from people, right? And I used to say that if you're not selling, you are selling for other people. If you're not selling for yourself, you're selling for other people, right? So I don't sell, I work for someone. You work for someone that sell something, all right? So one thing you must do if you want to easily make money is you must learn how to sell. And like I said, that many people build a personal brand but forget to create an offer. So people have beautiful designs on their Facebook page, beautiful names. In fact, people come into their comment to say value, 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 interesting, interesting. And unfortunately, these same persons are not making money from all this. These people have over 1,000 plus reactions, 700 comments or 300 comments, but unfortunately, ask them, they are still broke. The reason why that is simple. The reason why that is they have not learned to create an offer as part of their personal brand. Now, if you would want to make money, especially in 2025, if you are listening to me, you need an offer. So don't just build a personal brand. I know the rate for building a personal brand is high, so high, right? People talk so much about build a personal brand, build a personal brand. That's amazing and that's interesting and that's true. But if you build a personal brand without an offer, you will not just be broke, you'll be both broke and depressed, right? Because your likes will not convert to cash. Your likes will not convert to cash. That's exactly where a lot of persons are stuck. They are stuck in likes, they are stuck in shares, they are stuck in followers. So their followers is increasing on a daily basis, or their followers is increasing from time to time. Every time they are celebrating the next 10k followers, or every single time they are celebrating the next 1k followers. Oh, family, we just got to 11k following. Oh, it didn't even take up to a week, we got to 13k following. Wow, we're growing. Amazing. Amazing, right? But the question is, should you stop there? No, because followers in itself will not give you money. Now, there's something I know about people who follow you, right? Now, it doesn't make sense when you have like 30k followers, but you are still coming to the DMs of people to beg for money. It doesn't make sense. You are like, come on, you are an influencer, right? And there's a very unrealistic there's a very, very unrealistic thought we have about influencers. We feel that influencers should naturally have money. So if you're an influencer and you don't have money, there's a problem. Because when you go to someone, maybe someone who has very low following, and you go check in their DM and say, please, I need some money. They're like, come on, no, you must be deceiving me, right? You automatically look like a celeb. You're a celeb to be followed, and all of a sudden people don't want to attend to your needs again, right? Because, come on, you have changed levels. But unfortunately, it's not true. It's not true, because following in itself will not just give you money until you create an offer from it. Now, there are different offers that I can teach you, that if you create from your following, that you can profit from it. You can get ambassadorial deals, right? You an ambassador for a product, or you're an ambassador for a service. Now you're following, these are people that have needs of this product or services and needs them, and so you become an ambassador, and for every deal that happens through you, the company gives you a cut. You see, that's an offer. It's still the same thing I talked about, an offer. You must have an offer. If you don't have an offer, you'll be broke. And I know a lot of people wait for monetization, Facebook monetization. That's good, no doubt. But the question is, why limit your creativity to just Zuckerberg or to platform owners paying you? It's so limited. If you, in fact, all the big celebs, you know, do not limit their following to just Facebook monetization or YouTube monetization. They do what we call ambassadorial deals. They have promo codes where they share and then they earn on the spot. Imagine people earning every single day. Some people earn every single minute, right? For every single time people watch and take action, boom, they earn. Yeah. For every single time people watch and take action, they earn. But you are there expecting and saying, oh, what I want is monetization. Good. But your kind of monetization is only Facebook paying you, Instagram paying you, YouTube paying you, TikTok paying you. You might be small if you continue like that. The likes of the celebs, you know, the likes of Sabinus, the likes of Tahoma, the likes of Mr. Bean, all these set of persons do not just only depend on what the platform pays them. You must be more smarter than depending on what the platform will pay you. So, and here's exactly how to do it. You must learn how to create offers. Offer creation is an amazing part of one way to earn if you would build a business. See, let me tell you the uniqueness of a businessman. The uniqueness of a businessman is that a businessman knows how to create an offer for a problem. Now, one unique part of an entrepreneur is simple. We spot problems. So I used to funnily say that if you don't like problem, business is not for you. Right? And it's the truth. People say, oh, I don't like problem. Oh, sorry, business is not for you. But if you love problem, I mean good problems, not scattering everywhere. Right? If you love good problems, business is for you, because what business owners spot is they are problem spotters and they are problem solvers. Let me say that again. Business owners are problem spotters and they are also problem solvers. So until you move from being a complainer, what happens to a lot of people is more people complain, more people consume. You don't just want to be a complainer and a consumer. Yeah, I remember when I moved to a particular city, and then on the first week or thereabout, I was complaining about it thing, but I knew complaining about it thing will not change that thing. You know what? I brought the change. I decided to bring the change. So I moved from complaining and consuming to spotting and creating a solution. So that's the uniqueness of an entrepreneur. You must learn how to spot and create solutions. Spot and create solutions. These two things are the uniqueness of an entrepreneur. So you must be a spotter and you must provide solutions. That's the easiest way to become, that's the easiest way to win as an entrepreneur. Right? You don't just want to complain and consume, because these are what consumers do, or these are what people who buy does. They complain and they consume. Of course, you need this set of persons, because this is exactly how to spot problems. So business owners look for people who complain and people who are consumers. Right? They complain and they are consumers. Business owners are looking for this set of persons. Why are we looking for complainers? We are looking for complainers because their complaint will give us an idea of the kind of solution to create. So you must, as an entrepreneur, you're on the other side of the coin. What you are doing is that you are spotting a problem, you're researching about the problem, right? You are hearing feedbacks from people, right? You see, you're spotting a problem, you're hearing feedback from people, you are doing every single thing that can help you create a solution. It is the solution that will give you money, right? Remember what I said about business. A business is a problem you solve for profit, right? And the only way to solve a problem is that you learn to listen. The problem with a lot of people is they like to talk, and that's the job of a consumer. The more you talk, and I don't mean talking creatively or talking solutions, but entrepreneurs are more of a listener than being a talkative. If you're a talkative and you don't learn to listen, you will not be able to create the great solutions. So you want to listen to the problems of people. I'll give you examples. Opay came. What was Opay's solution? Very simple. They discovered that the traditional banks were slow with transactions. Imagine you going to spend hours sitting in the bank for just one transaction to go. And I remember they came at a very, very unique time. Very, very unique time. I think there was cash shortage at the time, right? This was in 20, what year was that? Maybe 2 years ago, I think, right? Yes, 2 years ago, I think, right? 2024 or thereabout. 2023 thereabout. All right, either 2023, yes, 2023. So what happened is these persons they came on board and they said, oh, now there was money shortage, and at the same time, so people were okay, depending on the second part, which was sending from banks, paying through online payment. There comes Opay. But unfortunately, a number of persons were missing it, and the way they were missing it was this, right? People started complaining that banks were becoming slow. You would send money and the person will not receive it. And of course, if you live in typical Lagos where everything is fast, what happens is that customer is not going to allow you go, or that salesperson is not going to allow you go until they see that transaction. So here comes Opay. Opay said the moment you send it to the moment you see it. You see, that's a solution. What they did was they listened. The moment they listened, boom, they spot the problem. They first spot the problem, they listened, and they created a solution with what people were looking for. That exactly is how you want to create a solution. And today, I think Opay is one of the biggest platform. Yes, biggest platform that helps you transfer quickly, right? How did that happen? Simple. They spotted a problem and they produced a solution. That exactly is who you want to become, right? Spot the problem and produce a solution. So if you just depend on likes and shares and followers, there's a problem. Now, likes, shares, and followers is not equals to sales structures or system. Let me explain that. Likes, shares, followers is not equal to sales, systems, and structures. Now, likes, are they good? Of course, yes, helps your personal brand, right? So, oh wow, this person is someone to listen to, you know. And then, guess what happens? Let me give you an example. We tend we tend to follow people who have more likes, right? So the moment we see someone who has more likes, we just automatically begin to respect them, or we just automatically begin to grade them, right, as big people, as influencers, right? We just automatically give the influencer badge to someone who has over 1,000 likes, right? Over 1,000 reactions, But guess what? That doesn't still pay the bills. It doesn't, right? So likes is not the same thing with sales. Like I said, the unfortunate part of influencing, of being an influencer, is the moment you have 1,000 likes, people will think you have 1,000 Canadian dollars in your account, but it's not true, right? 1,000 likes is not equals to 1,000 Canadian dollars, right? So understand, 1,000 likes is not equals to 1 million followers. Well, 1,000 likes is not equals to 1 million naira. Yeah, 1 million views is also not equals to 1 million naira. Understand that, or whatever currency it is that you use. 1 million views is not equals to 1 million is not equals to 1 million naira, right? Now, if you understand this, every single thing changes for you. Every single thing changes for you. So what you do is this: you then understand that, likes does not equal sales. So as you have the likes, which is very good. Remember, I said likes is good for your personal brand. It helps you to be perceived as an authority. People, wow, amazing job you are doing. You start to get accolades, good stuff. Helps your personal brand. But understand that this is not equals to sales. Neither is, what's the name? Neither is comment equals to, or neither is shares equals to structure. Oh, people are sharing my post, amazing. That's no structure there. Now, let me explain what I mean about that. Structure is totally different. Structure is what can stand in for you when you are not there. Let me say that again. Structure is what can stand in for you when you are not there. Unfortunately, for a number of persons, they don't have structure. Now, they think, of course, you're getting the likes, you're getting the reactions, you're getting the comments, and then you are blowing up. Yes, let me use that word. You are blowing up and you think, man, this is where it ends. I'm this and I'm that. Amazing for you. But unfortunately, that is not a structure. Have you not heard of people who had massive following, but all of a sudden the account got banned? Yeah. So what happens to you when your account gets banned? And then a lot of persons go crumbling. Unfortunately, same persons who go crumbling are not even selling anything. They are only annoyed because they have to start from the scratch. Unfortunately, they are just annoyed because they have got to start from the scratch. That should not be you. That should never be you, right? Now, yes, here's one unique thing to do. One very unique thing to do is this: that while you build your personal brand, you must learn to bring in the business part of it. The business part of it helps you structure some things. Remember what I said about structure? That structure is what stands in for you when you're not there. Unfortunately, the truth I need to teach you, the truth I need to pass across to you is, you will not always be there. You will never always be there. No, I show up every day, amazing. Can I be truthful to you? You will not always be there. You might be sick. You might want to go on vacation. You might need rest. You might just need to be away from your phone. How does what you're already doing continue without your presence? This is exactly where structures come in place, right? If you have got no structure, your thing will crumble when you move out. Every single thing you are building will crumble when you move out. So you must learn to build a structure around what you're doing. And this is only what can only offer this is business. Business can only provide it. So if you think business, you start thinking structure, right? Quite a number of persons do not think business. They are one-sided in their thought, and because of their one-sided in their thought, they think small, and because they think small, they can't really succeed. That should not be you. So you must learn to start thinking structure. If you think structure, you started thinking big. Now, and then the last is systems. Last is systems. Like I said, likes, shares, and followers does not equal sales. Sales, money, structure, people doing what should happen for you, systems, getting the job done for you, right? Understand that likes, shares, and followers does not equal sales, structure, and system. Now, there are few signs that you have a brand but not a business, right? There are very few signs that you have a brand but not a business. Now, the truth is this: I know a number of persons. Once I say this, I believe you can relate. People know your name, but they don't know what to buy, right? Just like you know the name Victor Maxen, right? Quite a number of names you also know, right? You know these people's name, but you don't know what to buy from them. Now, that is a sign that you have a brand, but you don't have a business. Yes, signs that you have a brand, but not the business. People know your name, but unfortunately, they don't know what to buy. So it's not just important that people know your name. Amazing. Personal brand can help people know your name. You're doing an amazing stuff. People want to be related with you. You go to an event, people want to take pictures with you. Amazing stuff. But guess what? That's just names. People now know your name. Oh, I know this person. I took a picture with this person. Good stuff. But that's the sign that you have a brand, right? You're building a brand. Amazing stuff. But that you have no business is that people know your name, but they don't know what to buy. And that's a very big problem, right? It's not enough that people know your name. Like I said many times, your name might just attract you likes. Likes cannot pay your bills. Shares cannot pay your bills. Followers cannot pay your bills. What can pay your bills is that you have something that you're selling, is that you have an offer that you're creating, you have a product that you are giving out, and of course making profit from it. Now, remember, just like I said, a sign that you have a brand but not the business is that people know your name, they don't know what to buy. Another one is you get praise, you don't get payment. Oh, value. It's crazy. A lot of persons are so used that I think more people are more interested with comment than money. I've seen it a lot. I've seen it play a lot, right? I've coached a number of influencers, and there's one thing interesting about all of them. Like, I mean, all of them, right? Except we do a mind re-engineering, right? All of them are so much interested with their followers. I remember someone reaching out to me few years ago, right? And then she exclaimed, "I'm not making money." I was like, okay, so what are you doing about it? Then I know she has a massive following, right? So I told her, why not sell? She cringed. No, I can't sell. I was like, why? What happened? I was like, my audience. I'm like, okay. I then asked the question, likes or money? Which do you prefer? It seemed to me after that talk that she preferred likes. She was comfortable with getting a good number of likes. I think she was getting over 500 reactions, 1,000 reactions on some posts, a little more thousand reactions, and she was just comfortable with that. But unfortunately, those things cannot pay your bills. Can never pay your bills. Has never paid a bill before. And so I just became plain to her and said, these likes will never pay the bills. And until you move from just concentrating on likes, you will never get paid. So I think, of course, she made the pivot and then she started making money. But quite a number of influencers, like I said, I've coached. All of them just prefer likes. And maybe, just like I said, I know a lot of persons don't like sales. But then you can train your audience the wrong way. This is exactly what I see a lot of influencers doing. They train their audience the wrong way. They just keep giving their audience free, not selling them anything. Might be amazing to you if you have got a strategy that helps you make money. and maybe which is different from not making money on the internet. Now, if you have got no strategy aside from this, my friend, learn to train your audience to buy from you. Let me say it again. Now, if you have got no strategy that makes you money outside the online space, you better train your audience to be buyers, because it's so unfortunate that the time you try to sell to them, it looks so strange to them and they feel they have just hacked your account. They are like, no, this is not this person. We know this person. This person is used to giving us free product. And in fact, they will blackmail you into giving it back for free. So learn to train your audience to be buyers, right? Except you have got a strategy that gives you money outside. But if you want to win on the internet space and want to make money on the internet space, train your audience to be buyers. Unfortunately, not a number of persons who have audiences are buyers. They so much talk about value, and to them, what they understand value is free. No, Apple, MacBook is value, but it's not free. iPhone is value, but it's not free. Lands in Lekki is valuable, but it's not free. Now, these are valuable assets, valuable products, but are not free. But you have made your audience think that value is free. Come on. Now, I'm not saying that things that are free are not valuable. In fact, I share quite a number of free, valuable things. But understand that you have to help your audience balance this understanding that value doesn't mean free. The fact is free or the fact is paid does not reduces its value, right? And also the fact it is free does not also reduces its value. I'm not of the school of thought that because it's free then it should be less valuable. Nah. I'm never of that school of thought. In fact, this information I'm showing to you currently is free, right? And I'm going this deep to share with you because I understand that free value can also be free. But at the same time, understand that value can also be paid and also should be paid. Now, the moment you help your audience, the moment you begin to grow your audience and get them to like to buy, it changes every single thing for you, right? You don't sound strange to them when you bring up a product to sell. Yes, you don't sound strange. In fact, they're expecting, oh, what new product are you bringing? Is there any new release? Is there any new thing? But unfortunately, let me even break it to you that a number of persons who buy online, right, or a lot of persons who claim that they like free stuff, guess what? They spend their money somewhere else. Let me say that again. A number of persons who claim they like free stuff spend their money somewhere else. They spend their money on people who have trained them to buy and maybe not buy from you. That's just the unfortunate truth of this, right? So you want to learn not to be used. I think they are using you. Your audience might be using you. So learn to train your audience so that they don't use you or they don't use your head. Remember this. Don't forget this. You think people don't pay for things, you might just be lying to yourself, or you might have been lying to yourself a long time ago. The truth is this. The truth is that if people don't spend money with you, they spend money somewhere else. Don't forget that. If people don't spend money with you, they spend money somewhere else. Ensure that the money they want to spend is spent with you and not somewhere else. So don't forget that one. That at least will help you, right? Payment is better than just praise because you need payment to survive. You need payment to succeed. In fact, you need payment to cut short so many levels that would have so stressed you if you don't have money, right? Now, I've spoken about signs that you have a brand but not a business. Now, let me switch to talking about signs that you have a business but not the brand. You sell stuff, but people don't trust you or remember you. A lot of persons are also on this table, right? And that's why I said, you see, this thing is very, very important. This thing about brand, and I'll come there, right? But that's true. There are quite a number of persons that sell something, right? They just sell. And amazing it is to sell, right? But unfortunately, the people you are selling to don't trust you. That's a sign that you have a business, but you don't have a brand. And guess what? People might not buy from you, even though you are not selling something, even though you're now creating an offer. So you want to see why this thing goes hand in hand, and I'll come there. Right now, a sign that you have a business but you don't have a brand is that people, you sell stuff but people don't trust you, or people don't remember you. How many products have you bought from people and you don't remember it? People buy products from me, and the only one reason they remember is the fact that I consistently show up. Right? So they remember, oh, I bought this product from Victory Maxit. I cannot forget it. Right? Every product people buy from me, they don't forget, because I'm always in their face. Right? So every single time they talk, whether it's close like a boss, whether it's positioning for profit, whether it's how to handle sales objections like a pro, any product people buy from me, they don't forget it. And the reason why, I remember when I sold this book, quite a number of persons has this book in their house, right, in their business place, in their stores or whatever it is. I remember when I wrote this book, I don't forget, right? What happened was this: quite a number of persons, just having this alone is enough for them, right? Quite a number of business lessons are here. A number of business lessons are here, and every single time they encounter a problem, they just remember the name. Oh, they either remember the name of the title of the book, or they remember my name. Right? I remember when we sold it as soft copies. Right? People just search for my name. Right? Exactly. Now that's a sign that if you have a business but not a brand, is that you're going to sell stuff, but unfortunately, people will not remember you, and the worst one is that people will not trust you. So every single time you come to sell, we only know you are selling because you want to sell. You're hungry, or all of that. But when you build a brand, remember, when you build a brand, there's something about building a brand. And the thing about building a brand is that people begin to perceive you as an authority. People begin to perceive you as someone to listen to. That exactly is who you want to become. Someone people wants to listen to, right? Until you become someone people wants to listen to, unfortunately, you just be using people and people can see it, right? Oh, he just wants to use us to make money. They can't remember you. They don't know you. Oh, where are you coming from? You're just coming from the gutters and you want to sell to us. We don't know you. Where are you from? Right? Guess what? We listen to people we know. That's the truth. We listen to people we know. We follow people we know. Right? And that's it about building a brand. So don't just build a business, which is great. Building a business is amazing. Build a brand. Yes, you can brand your business. Right? Now, another one is you are doing transactions, you're not building legacy. You are doing transactions, you're not building legacy. Now, I believe you have been seeing the ad of OP almost everywhere. That's a brand, not just a business. OP, of course, helps you with transaction and a whole lot of, but more than that, they are building a brand, and that's why you can easily know. That's why you easily know them. You remember them. You remember them every single time. Maybe you need urgent 2K, you're like, send it to my OP. And the easiest way to even make it more memorable is this: they use your phone numbers. Just take off the first zero, and then the remaining numbers, send it to my OP. The reason why that is simple. The reason why that is because they builded a brand. This is a business, for God's sake, but they have built a brand around it. So please brand your business. That's the easiest way to get it memorable. So, like I said, the way to know that you are building a business but not a brand is that you are more transactional than legacy conscious. You want to be legacy conscious. Be legacy conscious. Of course, if you build a legacy, of course you should be paid for it, right? And you be paid the business way. So I spoke about the signs that you have a brand but not a business, and now I currently spoke about sign that you have a business but not a brand. Guess what? None of them is good. None of them is good standing on its own, right? Both goes hand in hand. So here's exactly why you need both. The truth is that brand equals attention. Let me say that again. Brand equals attention. Remember, I said that the moment you are building a brand, people want to be related to you. It's so amazing when I go for programs and people want to take pictures. People want to tell their friends that they know my I know Victory Maxine. Right? It sounds good, it looks good, and it's amazing. Right? Really amazing. But understand that yes, brand equals attention. If you build a brand, you begin to attract attention. You begin to attract attention. People begin to tell other people about you. That exactly is how you know new OP. I used to say that OP didn't come to your house. How did you know about OP? A friend told you. Now, remember, like I said, brand equals attention. Many times, you no longer become the salesman. When you're just building a business, somehow you become the salesman, right? Or you're always talking about it. You want to force it into, you want to shove it into the heart of people. But when you build a brand around what you do, what happens is people begin to carry your names around. Yeah, people begin to do your marketing for you. Coca-Cola does massive marketing, but guess who are the biggest marketers? You. Yes. Someone wants to quench their taste and they don't want to take water. Then you recommend Coke. Coke doesn't just have to Coke will not appear there and say buy from us, we are Coke. No, you do it. You do the marketing for them. And that's because they have built a brand. And that's who you want to become. You want to build a brand around what it is that you're doing. The moment you build a brand, every single thing changes, right? Remember I said if you're just building a business, what happens is you sometimes you shove what we should buy from you into the truth of people. But if you build a brand around your business, is that you'd easily get attention. And you get attention somehow, many times for free. Yes, you get attention for free because people begin to talk about you. Then you now begin to gather what we call loyalists. You begin to gather supporters, right? Yes, I've got loyalists, I've got supporters, and in fact, a number of other influencers have loyalists and supporters. They are people who carry their message everywhere. Everywhere they carry their message, they're up with their message. Oh, do you know about this? This is coming out. Come on. You know what's happening? A brand attracts attention. Another thing is this, like I said, why you need both. The brand helps you attract attention, and a business helps you attract what we call monetization. So this is why you need both. Brand grants you attention, business gives you monetization. Let me say that again. Brand gets you attention, and business gives you what we call monetization. Business is, of course, the money part of it, the structure part of it, the sales part of it, the system part of it. Right? Why do you go to spa? Have you ever wondered why you go to spa? Of course, that's a brand. It's first a brand before it's a business. Right? Oh, I want to go to spa. Now, if it was just about the business, you might not want to go to spa. But then there's something about going to spa does to you, right? So when I go to spa, I look big. So I must go to spa. And so you go to spa just to look big. You see that? Now, what exactly is happening here? Something very simple and something to learn from, right? When you go to spa, of course, you now, oh, I'm not buying from local shops again. I'm now buying from spa. That's a brand. That's the feeling of a brand. That's what a brand can help you do. Brand just help people to be different, right? Whether it's being part of a community, right? Think about the paid communities. There's something I know about Nigerians, especially Africans. The moment they pay for something, then they are the most proud about that, and especially when the thing is expensive. If the thing is expensive, they will talk about it like crazy. This I know about Nigerians. Right? The moment this thing is expensive, they begin to talk about it. So they say, oh, do you know I'm in Victory Maxine's community? Do you know I'm in this community? Do you know I'm in that community? Oh, do you know how much we paid to be there? You know what they are talking about. That's actually your brand talking. It's not the business part of it, it's the brand. Now, why they are saying it is because they want to show you that they are one step ahead of you, or they are steps ahead of you. Of course, they are talking about the brand of it, right? Then they now, of course, the business is where it makes you money. It's not making them money, right? But the reason why they are part of it is because of the brand. Remember, I said brand equals attention. Don't forget that. And then business equals monetization. You want to learn to align the two, combine both of them, right? Now, build your identity with clarity. and consistency. This is exactly how to build a brand, right? You want to build with clarity. Clarity is you're clear about what you're doing. I'm not a confused person. I don't do every single thing. I can't do everything, right? I know I can do everything through Christ who strengthens me, but then everything within my jurisdiction, right? I don't do everything, right? People know me for something. People know that I talk about entrepreneurship, I talk about sales, all these things are related, right? I'm a public speaker, but all these things are related because I speak sales, but I don't do everything. Now, that exactly is what they call clarity. I'm sure about what I'm doing, right? I'm sure about what people are not mistaken. Oh, this guy, they are sure. Now, if you are clear, people will be willing to follow you. People love people to lead them. That's what I know about people, right? They love to be led. People love to be led. And because people love to be led, you have got to come here with clarity. Clarity. Come clear. Help us to help you too, right? So when you come with clarity, clarity is not enough. Clarity is, oh, I know what I'm doing now. I put out a post, right, to show you that I know what I'm doing. But one post will not do everything, or even in fact, it might not even do anything, right? I see people, they write the first best post. But can I tell you that the first best post is not enough? You might want to continue that post to gain traction, right? So the way to build a brand is that you come with clarity, but clarity is not enough, right? Clarity is, oh, I am now sure of what I'm doing. But then you have got to be consistent with your clarity. A lot of persons are not consistent, and I say it is consistency that builds you the brand. Yes, consistency is what builds you the brand. Consistency is what attracts people to you. So the moment you begin to talk and continue to talk and continue to talk and stay on that path, guess what? People discover you. Believe me, the point you knew about, let me make a mention of a skit maker that you know. Let's say Tabinus or Taoma, whoever you know, or anyone you know. The moment you knew them was not the moment they started. Yes. If they were not consistent, you will never hear from them. The way you heard from them was that they became consistent in what it is that they were doing. My friend, you have got to be consistent. That is the only way people can get to know you. Consistency is what eventually builds trust and builds this thing that makes people know you. So you have got, of course, to be consistent, right? And yes, exactly. Remember, I'm speaking about how to align the two, how to align building a brand and building a business. Then after you become clear and consistent, now set up what we call business models with systems and structures. Remember what I said about systems or structures? These are things that stands in for you when you're not there. Now it could be staff, it could be automations, it could be it could be tech, whatever it is. Remember, staffs, automation, tech, whatever it is. But these things can stand in for you when you're not there. Unfortunately, for a number of persons, they are building a business where they do every single thing. Sorry, sir, you're not building a business, you are doing what we call another job. So the only way to build a business is that you get people to work for you. You either get people to work for you or you bring tech to work for you. That's how to build a business. Now, let me give you an example for a moment. Now, think about it. You maybe know UBA Bank, right? But I guarantee you, not every single person knows the founder of UBA Bank. Yes. But then he's doing an amazing job on the internet. He's building a brand, even in his name, right? But I guarantee you that not every single person knows about him, but they know UBA. All right. Now, what happened here is simple. He has learned to build a structure around that thing. If you go to the bank expecting to see him every single day, and that's only where he chooses to be, unfortunately, that thing cannot grow, because there will be days where he's sick, there will be days where he has to catch another appointment, and a whole lot. Now you have got to start thinking like this. You must learn to move from just building with clarity and consistency to building with systems and structures. Now, let me give you an instance. I said that building with systems and structures involves using tech. Let's say you put out posts to build your brand, put out content. Why not use a scheduler? to help you. But I still hear stupid statement around scheduling. People say, oh, if I schedule the post, it won't get the right traction. And I'm like, do you know better than the owner of those platforms? They put it there because it works. So remember that the way to build systems and structures is that you learn how to use tech, right, to aid you. You are either using tech. Another word for it recently is what we call AI, artificial intelligence, right? You're using these things to aid what it is that you are doing. Once this happens, every single thing changes for you, right? So set up your business model with systems and structures. My friend, don't just be seen, be paid. Don't just be seen. Ensure that you are paid. Influence is not enough. Build a system behind your spotlight. This is the spotlight, you maybe, right? But ensure that you build a system. You build things that pays you. You have a staff, you have got a company, you have got a structure behind your spotlight. So people love the brand. So people love Victory Maxim, but Victory Maxim has product. Victory Maxim has a team. I can't do this thing I'm doing alone, right? So ensure that while you on your way to influence, build influence. Amazing, right? Brand, right? Influence is not enough. Build a structure behind your spotlight. So if people love you, people love the person of Tony Elumelu, amazing, right? But then he has learned to build staffs that gets his stuff running while he's not there, right? So ensure that he has, in fact, Tony Elumelu has different other businesses, but if he chooses to be the one there, oh my God, a lot will happen, right? So learn to not just build, right? Learn to not just build influence, build a system behind your spotlight. The truth is this: when brand meets business, impact becomes income. Let me say that again. When brand meets business, impact becomes income. When brand meets business, impact just turns to income. It's sweetest of the things, right? So you want to learn how to build a brand. When you build a brand, and then, or when brand meets business, see, I love this combo. In fact, I'm building this combo. I have a brand and I have a business. Remember, I said if you have a business, you want to brand your business. Coca-Cola, you know Coca-Cola. The reason why you know Coca-Cola is not because of the business of Coca-Cola. You know Coca-Cola because of the brand of Coca-Cola. Every brand that is memorable to you is not just because of the business, it's because of the brand. Why is Coca-Cola sponsoring an event? A brand. Yes, brand. Of course, look out for the brands you remember. OP, brand, right? Of course, and of course, they should make money from it. So, this is me saying to you, my friend, if you're listening to me, when brand meets business, your impact becomes income. My friend, build a brand today. That's my message for you today. My final word is that learn to build a brand, and of course, remember to structure your brand, systemize your brand, and every single thing will change for you. So that is it today about talking to you about brand versus business. I believe you will never be confused about these two. You'll never be confused about this. You'll never be an entrepreneur listening to this and be confused about these two again. Please build a brand, which is very important, but don't forget to build a business around it. Remember, let me recap on these things. The ones where I said a sign that you're building a brand, but you're not building a business. You don't want to forget this, that people know your name. Don't allow the people to just know your name and then they are clapping for you, but you are broke. Right? Don't make that something for you. Now, ensure, all right? Ensure that while you build a brand, you have to build a business around it. So people know your name, but they don't know what to buy. That should not be you after this time, right? You get praise, you don't get payment. People are telling you value. Oh my, you are trying. In fact, I love what you are doing. They encourage you. It won't pay your bills, though. ensure that you get paid. That's a sign that you're building a brand and not a business. Now, a sign that you're building a business but not a brand is that you sell stuff but people don't know you, or they don't remember you, and they can't trust you, or they don't trust you, right? That should not be you. And then you're doing transactions, not building legacy. Build a brand today so that, remember, like I said, when impact, right? When brand meet business, impact becomes income. I'll see you next Monday. Bye for now. You are great. Bye bye.